Weekend plans. Meteorologist Erika Paige is breaking it all down for us.
Yeah, it's maybe going to have a little bit of an impact, especially tomorrow morning. You may get some time during the afternoon where you get a little bit drier conditions working through. Overall, though, I would just plan on it being a pretty soggy day, pretty much from start to finish, just because you may not get very long breaks between some of that rain. You'll notice a couple rumbles of thunder also possible as we go through the day tomorrow, mainly because you are working in some warmer air, so that may add a little bit what we call instability to the atmosphere or energy to fuel a few more organized showers and potentially then a couple of those thunderstorms. You'll see that rain is just now starting to cross the Ohio River, moving into the Cincinnati area as we speak, and so we are finally starting to track this rain a little bit closer to home tonight, though things are still quiet, and I still imagine that we've got at least a couple more hours where we're not really going to be seeing too much in the way of rain moving in just yet. It's been a mixture of clouds and some partly cloudy skies. Maybe you can even tell where we've had the partly cloudy skies in place because temperatures have really started to cool off. Places like New Philly 43, Worcester at 42, Mansfield 44. The farther north you go, the more you're tapping into a little bit more of that cloud cover. Lorain 46, Cleveland, Akron, Ashtabula 49 degrees. So again, you're in this period right now where temperatures are at least dropping initially, but the second we really start to build in that rain, I do think you're going to start seeing that temperature recover through the overnight hours, and that's where we're going to begin the morning tomorrow a little bit warmer than where we're waking or where we're heading to bed basically tonight. Here's that southeast wind about 5 to 15 miles per hour. Again, your temperature, the coolest point that it will be basically right now. Maybe a couple more hours you'll see that temperature drop, but by 6 o'clock in the morning, this is where most of us will be. There could be a few spots mid 40s, but I think for the vast majority of northeastern Ohio, we are waking up mid to upper 40s to near 50 degrees to begin the day. Then tomorrow we are headed back near 60. Cleveland earlier today reached 61 degrees. We haven't seen the low 60s since November 20th, so it has been some time since we've seen some of this mild air. We're in for one more day headed into tomorrow. It'll be a mild start. Really the warmest period of your day is going to be that mid-afternoon time frame before the cold front starts to come in, and once it does, that temperature will start to tumble, and it could introduce maybe some sleet by early Monday morning. That is something we will have to watch, and it's also going to kick up some stronger winds as well. Out of the southeast initially, 15 to about 20 miles per hour, could gust overnight headed into Monday, upwards of 40, maybe even 45 miles per hour. We'll walk you through the rain data hour by hour for tomorrow, coming up in just a few minutes. Start our upcoming week. Maybe you have to head to work for a day or two, and then, you got to kind of deal with that big transition, what you're going to bring with you to work potentially, especially when it comes to rain gear versus some of that snow gear. So headed into tomorrow to wrap up the weekend, we're still dealing with the warmer temperatures. That's good news for us, but it's going to come with some rain, potentially a few rumbles of thunder. We will watch for some locally heavy rainfall at times as we wait for the system to pass through. It may leave us with a little bit of sleet or wintry mix headed into your early Monday. I think more so just a cold rain will be what most of us are stepping out to if we see any of that activity lingering for your Monday, but it clears out fast. We bring back a little bit of sunshine to start off the week. Enjoy it while it's here because clouds quickly make a return by Tuesday. It is going to be a pretty soggy day, I have a feeling, from start to finish, and that's going to be the system that really kind of draws in much colder air through a good majority of this next week. We've been tracking this area of low pressure as it's been moving basically across the south today, but eventually starts to bring its way kind of up towards the north, and that is what's eventually going to help usher in some of this moisture across our area. You'll notice south of this area of low pressure, we do have some severe weather out there tonight. We've been tracking this throughout the day today. More tornado watches in effect for places like Alabama as this line of storms continues to march off towards the east. We will not see the severe aspect of this system, mainly because the bigger energy for these storms will stay farther to the south. Yes, we're warming up, and typically that could help provide us with a little bit more of that energy. I just don't think we're going to see enough of it building in a more timely manner for us to really see any type of severe weather. Now, that doesn't mean it doesn't give you potentially a few thunderstorms in the mix. That is certainly possible headed into tomorrow as we deal with some of those rounds of heavier rainfall. If you get a more organized shower or thunderstorm, certainly some gusty winds would be possible with that. But again, I just don't see that being the best case scenario for us here locally as we go through your Sunday. Here's 6 o'clock in the morning. You'll see a lot of us dealing with some of that rain to get the day started. Temperatures upper 40s to about low 50s. Not even dealing with the cold front just yet. You'll actually see temperatures will warm as we go through those mid-morning hours and still dealing with the several more rounds of rain possible. Once this initial wave of rain continues to push out of here, I do think we get a little bit of drier air that mixes in. That should bring an end at times to some of that rainfall across the area. But we'll be watching for a broken line of scattered showers, potentially a few thunderstorms in the mix. Once we get into tomorrow afternoon and evening, that's your cold front, and you'll notice as that wave continues to pass through, temperatures start to drop, and it's going to be a very steady drop in temperatures then from that point headed into the overnight hours. Now, your future view has been very bullish on this. It's been bringing in that wintry weather as we kind of head into the overnight hours tomorrow night into early Monday. Here's the deal. Look at where your temperatures are sitting by 11 o'clock in the evening. It's not to say that some areas couldn't be into the mid and upper 30s, certainly possible. I just think we stay on the warmer side of this system still, and that for the most part, this is just going to be a cold rain that takes us into your Sunday night and waking up early on Monday morning. This is midday Monday. You see how quickly a lot of this activity escapes to the east, takes with it a lot of the cloud cover. I do think some clearing will be possible, which then should allow those temperatures to recover more so into the mid 40s. Again, if we see any wintry mix, I think more so some of that sleet. We saw a little bit of that earlier this last week. Likely we're going to see a repeat of that late Sunday night headed into early Monday. Here's where rainfall sits with this system. It's likely going to be feast or famine if you don't really see a lot of the heavier downpours, maybe upwards of 1/4 of an inch of rain at best. Areas farther to the west, I do think you're going to see some of that heavier rain at times. Locally, over 1.5 inches will be possible, so certainly a little bit of a soggier pattern for us as we look to wrap up the weekend. Again, we're going to get a little bit of a break in the activity on Monday. By Tuesday, we've got another system that we're tracking moving into the area. That's going to bring you some widely scattered showers across northeast Ohio. If you're out late in the evening, expect that rain will likely transition over to some of that snow. And then once we kickstart the new year, it's really going to be a very chilly pattern that takes over for a lot of us. And I think we're going to see system after system rolling through, at least initially, maybe just some of that lake effect snow, but we'll watch for more system snow possible by the end of next weekend. We'll talk a little bit more about that in your New Year's forecast in the next half hour.